everyone. So unfortunately, I was unable to make Wednesday Night Live tonight because after a really awesome and long weekend with all my Mary Kay ladies at seminar, I came home and I am currently, well, not currently right this second, but when you're watching this, I am currently at a Kidz Bop concert with my daughter. So she missed me. This trip was planned, so I would like to say that she missed me so much that I just randomly decided to take her to a Kidz Bop concert, but no, this trip was planned. So anyways, I'm at a Kidz Bop concert, hopefully having a blast listening to all my music, but by children. And so that's what I'm doing tonight. So I was unable to make it. So I wanted to make this video so that Michelle could share it with you. And I could just share some fun things about, you know, why it's important to go to seminar, like what I can take away from seminar, all the things, okay? So first I would like to say that I am so honored. I have no words for how blessed and honored I am to have been able to walk across stage in a new sales director jacket, okay, representing the Fearless unit. I had a blast. That was probably my favorite moment. All of those who know me know that I love to be center of attention, you know, let's just be honest. Most of the time, not all the time. I learned at seminar this year that not all the time do I like that, but I do like it for the most part. And so I was so excited to walk across stage, but not just to walk across stage. You know, it wasn't about like, oh, let me like wave and be in front of everybody. Like, yes, there's a little bit of me like that type, of course. But really what I was just so honored and proud of was that it was representing all of you, all of my Fearless unit members. And so I love that. I love that I get to represent such an amazing group of women. And I don't just say that because you're in my unit. I say that because that is honestly how I feel. Some of you have been with me since day one, literally day one of me signing my beauty agreement. And then some of you are brand new. Some of you gone, you know, with me through my DIQ process and my CAR process. And some of you have left and some of you have come back. And some of you, you know, like I said, are brand new and are just like, have no idea what has happened in in this past year, or can understand what has really happened not only in my life, but in some of your sister consultants' life this past year. And so I was just blessed. I was so honored. And so I just have to say that to all of you that are a part of my unit. Some of you are family, some of you are friends, and some of you are people that I've never even met, but you show up, and you show up for, you know, your own personal business, for me, for your sister consultants. And that is just honestly amazing. It's truly amazing. And again, I'm just honored. I don't know what other words to say other than please take this as a huge thank you for that opportunity, because it was absolutely amazing. Okay, so that was number one. That was like the number one thing. You know, I was super excited about it. Everybody knew that. And that was like, you know, definitely something that I'm like, yeah, I want to be going across stage for everything. Like and not just that, but I want you to be going across stage for everything. I want all of you on this call tonight, you know, pat yourself on the back because you showed up to Wednesday Night Live and you're watching this live and you get to comment and you get to be there. You know, it is so important to show up. You never know what little nugget might just open up your eyes or open up your heart to something that, you know, you just didn't know. You don't know what you don't know, right? And so, you know, I love it. Showing up to seminar was obviously a no-brainer. The last time I had gone to seminar was a funny story. Don't have time for all of that, but a funny story, and it was 9 years ago. It was the 50th anniversary. We're about to go on to our 60th anniversary. And so, you know, 9 years ago when I went to seminar for the first time, I was a beauty consultant. I don't even think I was in red. And of course I saw, you know, of course it changed my life, but it didn't change my life the way this past time changed my life. Like it changed my life for where I was in that stage of life, if that makes any sense. Does that make sense? And so this time around, it changed my life again, but for where I am. And so I think that that's super important to remember and think about, because there are definitely many, many stages of life and many seasons of life, I think is really the word I'm looking for. And so my season of life right now in my personal life and my Mary Kay business, like I got what I needed from this seminar, and I would have never gotten it if I just sat here and watched it virtually, you guys. I would have never. So just to kind of give you like an idea for an example, you know, so we get to go to Mary Kay Corporate, and I've gone to Mary Kay Corporate before, so it's not like I hadn't seen it before, but it was 9 years ago, so I didn't remember. I didn't remember the Mary Kay Museum. I didn't remember corporate. I didn't remember what it looked like, you know, inside. I had completely forgotten, and so I was so happy that I got to go back, but I went by myself, okay? So a lot of directors didn't go. A lot of people that I knew didn't go to corporate. They go to every year, and so, you know, they had other things going on. They wanted to do other things, and that was completely fine. But I made the decision that I wanted to go to corporate. I wanted to see it again. And so if I never had gone to corporate, I wouldn't have met the beautiful sales director, Anna Marie, who is from Washington State, who just changed my life, you know, just by talking to her. She sat next to me in the bus. And so now I've gained a friendship, and now we're Facebook friends, and now we have each other's phone number, and we text. And then we saw each other several times throughout seminar, and we stopped and we took pictures together and we talked, and, you know, we encouraged one another. And I was so blessed by it because, you know, she was telling me things about her life, and I was like, oh my gosh, you have to meet Michelle. You guys are like two peas in a pod. You know, she was discouraged about some things in her personal life that I knew I and Michelle could help her with. And so she was like, she just kept thanking me like, oh my gosh, God brought us together today. God brought us together today. And it was true. Like, God brought us together today. And that would have never happened if I didn't go to corporate. That would have never happened if I didn't go to seminar. So you just never know what relationships you're going to build, what's going to happen. And I think that it's such a beautiful thing, right? Like you come back and you're just like, that's such an awesome story and I love it, you know, whatever. So that was like, you know, day one or whatever in Mary Kay. We call it day 0 in Mary Kay, which is so confusing, I think, for people, but it's really day 1 in my brain. So that was an awesome, you know, like an awesome takeaway. And then I also met her newest offspring, who actually started Mary Kay in Russia, which how cool is that? She was a Mary Kay consultant in Russia. If you guys don't know, we're in 40 different countries, which is really, really cool. And so she started in Russia, and then she stopped, and then she came to the US, and then she started again. So she actually got to go to seminar in Russia, and then she also got to go to seminar here 2 different times, like lots of years in between, but she was like sharing her experience. And it was so cool to see that, you know, to see like, you know, kind of like seminar in Mary Kay through someone else's eyes that had been through it in multiple countries. Like, I don't know, that was just a really cool thing. So I loved that. So that was like another thing. And then the stories, you guys, the stories that you hear in Mary Kay, when you get to see women walk across stage that have some crazy stories, and you're just like, how did you get through life? Like, how did you, you know, it amazes you, and it makes you grateful, because it makes you grateful. Like, yes, we all go through things. Yes, we all have a story. Some would say some stories are worse than others. Some would say that some people are more blessed than others. You say whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, we all have a story. And so I love that Mary Kay allows us to share that story, because, you know, it's important, I think, to see how everyone's different, the diversity, the stories, how everyone, you know, everyone grows up in different, you know, environments, blah, 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 whatever, the whole spiel, right? And so I love that you're able to talk about that. I love that you're able to praise God and thank God and give God the glory the whole time you're at seminar. Nobody gets on stage and gives a speech without thanking God. And I love that, you know. And would you be able to do that if you got a promotion at like a corporate America job? I don't think so. Like, you know, if you went to a conference, corporate America has conferences, you go to a conference there and you're like, thank you, God, for this promotion. Like, they probably would be like, you can't do that. And so I love that in Mary Kay, you can do that. You can share your stories. You can share your heart with people. You can share your love for Jesus. You can, you know, and it's just an amazing an experience thing to see. And I mean, the tears, I cried like a baby for some of them. And some of them I was like, clapping and acting crazy and like, preach, girl, preach, because, you know, it's just like a mixture of emotions. But Anyways, the stories are awesome. The stories are great. And, you know, some Mary Kay women, you know, you think like, it makes me grateful because I sometimes forget, you know, like my story, you know, I think sometimes, you know, negatively impacts me. And so then I, you know, use the words like, I can't do that because XYZ happened. And that's not actually the case, you know? Just to give like an example, let me find her name so that I can actually quote person. So Tracy Randall, she started her business in 2019. She became a sales director in 2019. She is now a executive senior sales director, which means Michelle can tell you what it means. Like how many offspring she has. But basically she's building her national area right now. She has 3 kids. All kids have different fathers. She is a survivor of rape. She is a survivor of 9/11, physically being there in the building. She got married. I don't know if it was the second time or what, but got married and is a survivor of domestic abuse. And she survived a stroke 5 years ago. So she has survived a lot, okay? And she could probably go on with a lot more. But that's just what she shared. And she just stood there and, you know, trained us on just believing, you know, in yourself, believing in God, and, you know, getting past all of that trauma that she had to get past. And it's crazy to think that all of that happened in a very short period of time. And then she joined Mary Kay, and it like it changed her life. Like she thanks Mary Kay for that. She thanks God for providing Mary Kay, which has then changed her life. And so, like I said, she joined in 2019. She became a director in 2019, and she is now like, I could be inaccurate on these numbers, but like a $500,000, you know, sales director, about to be a national, like has done, you know, triple star 3 times. And if you don't know what any of that means, ask. But basically it's a big deal. Like in a very short period of time, she's done a lot, and it's a very big deal. So just the stories are, you know, really amazing. And honestly, I think the stories is what always touches me the most at these places, because you know, they're relatable. Like these people are relatable. We always sit there and say like, oh, when you go live in front of your customers, like you should be relatable. And it's like, you don't even have to really try to be relatable, because, you know, you just do your thing. And so they all say that we're all relatable in some way, shape, or form. You know, one story is going to stick out to somebody, maybe not stick out to another person, but I love that we're all just uniquely made, you know, how he made us. And so I love that we can use that and, you know, use our gifts in different, you know, in our strengths in different ways to then be able to provide for not only our family, but for others, and to just pass it on and to share it. And to, you know, like Brittany Jenks, which was the queen of sales, not the queen of sales, well, the queen of all of Mary Kay. And the queen of our division, but also #1 director nationwide. She always says, you know, we just want to bring a light to others. We want to be the light of Jesus to others. And so I just love that. Her kids were adorable, like super adorable. When you're the queen, your family gets to come on stage. And, you know, Michelle always asks me like, you know, because I've always said I want to be a queen of something, because I want Leia to be able to get on stage with me, and it would be like a dream come true. And it's not necessarily, like I said before, like the stage itself or being like center of attention. It's the, you know, how it's gonna make her feel, my daughter feel, to be on stage for something, anything. It could be anything, guys. It could be debuting as a national sales director. It could be like, because it's not necessarily about, you know, me and like the goal. It's about her and like how it would make her feel and how it would touch her. I mean, Leia, I came home, and because I was there physically, I got to watch the playback. I got to watch it through InTouch as if I was virtual as well. It was like, you know, an option for me. And so I came home and I played it for Leia, and she was freaking out. I FaceTimed her while I was on stage, and like, she's 6, guys. She has no idea why I was on stage. Like, she doesn't comprehend like the achievements. All that it looks like to her is like, wow, my mom's a big deal. Wow, my mom's doing something. Wow, my mom mom's a hard worker, you know, and as a single parent, it just touches my heart to hear her say those things, because it's just an unbelievable feeling, because at the end of the day, that's my why and always has been. And that's why I do marry Kay, so that I can stay home with her. I can, you know, be her, the best mom that I know and, you know, I can be, and yada, yada, yada. So I'm looking at the screen, it's 15 minutes and Michelle's gonna kill me. So if she doesn't make me retake this video, hopefully I've shared something. But go to seminar, come to seminar, 60th anniversary. I don't know what your goals are, whether they be super tiny or super huge, it doesn't matter. You have to come to seminar. That is where your eyes open up, your heart opens up, you see the vision right there in front of you. And most importantly, I think at the end of the day, the best part about it, if I had to say that there was one thing over everything else, it is, you know, the relationships that you build and the ability to in person physically be able to clap and cheer on other women like you, who have accomplished so much and have overcome so much like you are going to accomplish and overcome. Bye, guys.